What's up, all you beautiful entrepreneurs? Today I'm going to share with you a very simple diagnostic tool that you can use to crack open the hood on your sales process within your business to identify where the constraints are, the constrictions, so we can alleviate that, get more flow, more throughput through the sales pipeline, and ideally make more money. That's the goal. It's a very simple 4-step process. Whenever I'm working with an entrepreneur to identify like how can we grow their business the quickest, we start by going through this process. I call it the SFD. It's the sales flow diagnostic, and it starts with opens. The first part of this is we look at how many conversations you are starting every day with prospective clients. Now, an open could be a cold DM, it could be a phone call, it could be somebody walking into your business, into your brick and mortar, it could be a door knocking, right? Like whatever it is, we're trying to engage somebody who might potentially be interested in buying our products. Think about this at the very top of the funnel. The more hands you shake, the more money you make, because the more that you have coming in through the top, if you keep your conversion percentages, all things being kept equal, then you will make more money just by making more people aware of what it is that you do. So the very first thing that I look at within a business is how many opens, engagements are you doing every day? Now, here's the mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make. This is the cycle I see people falling in and out of every single month. So let me know if this resonates with you by leaving a comment or a review, by the way. You have your business and you want to make money. You're like, oh, I got bills, I got to make them. And so you're out there, you're pounding the pavement, you're hitting the doors, you're talking to all the people, and you churn up the business. And now you get so busy, bogged down with delivering the product that you stop doing the actions such as knocking on doors, code calling, right? Like you stop doing those things that were filling the pipeline. And so the pipeline goes from being empty to full to empty again as you focus on the operations, and then you get into the feast and famine mode, right? Now you're like, oh shit, I've run out of money, there's no more throughput here, my customers have all churned, now I need more. So you go back into finding more and you do all the opens again. You start doing your lead generation, you start taking it more seriously, you get bogged down again, and it just goes in this cycle over and over and over and over again. So the way that you avoid this is by simply creating a daily consistent cadence of accountability that you show up and every day you do a certain number of opens and engagements so that the throughput is always steady. It's never going through this clog of being overfilled, underfilled. Like you want it to be nice and full and steady. And if anything, you want it to be full because then you can either raise your prices, you can turn people away, or you can use those resources to hire team. But the worst pipeline is the empty pipeline. So if your pipeline is empty today, it's the result or the lack of results of the actions that you took about 90 days ago. 60 to 90 days is how long the conversations that you have today will be your revenue in 60 to 90 days. So that's the very first thing that we look at is opens. How many conversations are we starting? Number 2 is how many of those conversations that we're starting are we qualifying? Are we qualifying? So we don't want to just take any old Joe Schmo off the street, talk to him about our product, and then get him onto a sales call and make an offer. Because that is going to kill our conversion rate because he might not be an ideal prospective buyer. We're going to be wasting a lot of time pitching people that are not actually the right avatar. And so we want to make sure that we are qualifying people sufficiently so that we're not wasting time on phone calls with people that we're never going to buy the thing or get the result from the thing in the first place. The good rule of thumb here is if there is no filter, there is no call. So if I can't filter you out and determine, are you somebody that I can actually help? Do you have a problem? Are you aware you have a problem? And is this a problem you're able to solve right now? So number 1 is, do you have a problem? Is it like, have I identified that you have the problem that I can actually solve? Number 2, are you aware you have a problem? Most people, as they say, the first step in getting help is admitting you have a problem, right? And so I can't sell you anything if you are not willing to admit that and see that you also have the problem. The third part of being qualified is then, do you have the means? Do you have the time and the capital to invest in the solution? So that's what the process that I go through to determine if somebody's qualified or not. But that's the second thing that we look at in the sales flow diagnostic. How many conversations are we opening? How many people are we qualifying? From there, we track how many people are we making offers to? How many offers are we making? And it's quite often my experience that entrepreneurs are just not making enough offers. They might have enough people coming in the door. They might have the person stepping off the street into their business, but they're not actually stopping them and making an offer and saying, would you like to buy this thing? Would you like me to ring this up for you? And so this could be your sales call, but this could also just be how many DMs are you sending and saying, hey, here's the product, are you interested in this? Or asking, hey, are you doing call to actions in your content? Hey, if you're interested in this, here's a link to sign up down below, right? How many offers are you making every single day? And I promise, like, if you were to do nothing else except for double the offers that you make every day, you would probably double your revenue as well. It's that simple. So we track our opens, we track our qualifications, we track our offers, and then last, we track our follow through. The follow up is where fortunes are made. And so it's unreasonable to expect just because you've made the offer that the person's just going to buy it right then and there, right? Sometimes we need to keep following up a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months later before they're finally ready to purchase the thing, or before the pain of the problem is so great that they finally can't ignore it anymore and they take action. So we want to have a process for following up with people that we have previously qualified and made an offer to. Now, if you do this and you identify what's the constraint in your business, with whether that's the opens, you're not opening enough conversations, you're not qualifying enough, you're not qualifying hard enough, you're not making enough offers, you're not following up diligently enough. Identify which one is the constraint in your business, alleviate it, and I promise this is going to unlock incredible amounts of growth for you in a relatively short period of time. So go run with that and get tons of value from it, and then come and let me know how awesome it was. And until then, stay hyper-focused, my friend.